Well, we learned today that an inmate at the Broward County Jail has died from COVID-19.
This is what's happening right now inside the Department of Corrections. We're sitting ducks in here.
Alright, what is up everybody? Now I don't know what it is about Melly, but his Netflix doc will be crazy. With the double homicide charge, the police unable to find his DNA at the crime scene, and now becoming one of the first inmates to catch the rona during this whole global crisis. What's crazy about this sickness is it can rapidly deteriorate. Some people it starts in their nose and it ends there, but other people it travels all the way down to their lungs start to collapse, they get pneumonia, and then all their vital organs start to turn off. And apparently right now, Melly's health is rapidly deteriorating.
All it takes is just one person in here to become infected and it's a wrap. Everybody's going to be infected.
But before we get into this video, I have to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, and that's the awesome team over at Grade Miners. If you guys are really struggling right now trying to complete your essays, trust me, I feel your pain, but don't worry, Grade Miners has you covered. You literally go to their website and choose any type of essay you want them to complete for you, you pay them, and it's done. Check out their Instagram, you can actually place your order on there, it's even easier. The link in the description if you need any help with your essays. Put in Forever 20 for 20% off your order. Go check them out. And now back to the video. So, Melly's in jail. He's not even convicted yet. And much like a lot of inmates around the states who are in jail waiting for their trial, they're basically stuck in a breeding zone for this disease, for this sickness to spread, right? Because people have to come into work, people come in for visitations, and the inmates have nowhere to go. What a lot of professionals are realizing is that the jails are not equipped to handle this crisis. I mean, the country itself is not equipped. And get this, another reason why it's so dangerous in jail is they've literally banned soap.
Are you able to get Lysol wipes, bleach, anything to disinfect and keep your area clean?
Are you kidding me? The commissary don't sell nothing but junk food.
Now the reason they banned stuff like hand sanitizer is because of the alcohol content. They're scared inmates are gonna get fucking zooted up off Purell. But right now, the other option is death. I mean, listen to how they found Melly. One night, the guards had found him and he was shaking. He was suffering from these chills and he had difficulty breathing. As it appears, this sickness had seeped down into his lungs. Now, once it gets into your lungs, this is when your body really has to fight hard to stop it from spreading. Later in the week, they weighed him and they saw that he only weighed 114 pounds. But not only that, the jailers stuck Melly in a cell with another inmate who tested positive for the same thing. Stupid as fuck, because they don't know yet if this sickness can mutate. They don't know. And if you want to see the importance of something like soap, check your screen. This is what your hands look like with the virus under UV light. You can actually see the fatty acids in the virus. And this is what your hands look like after 20 seconds of washing with some soap or disinfectant. It kills a lot of the virus. That's why the soap is so vital. And then we're also finding out that some of these prisons don't have enough nurses.
How long would it take you to see a doctor?
They have a nurse that's visiting the building every day. The problem with that is, I think for most prisoners, they would be afraid to report that because it automatically is going to result to them being isolated in the hole.
One nurse for an entire ward? That's crazy. What happens if Melly it turns to the worse and his body can no longer get enough oxygen? What happens then is you need to be put on a ventilator. You need to be artificially given oxygen to keep you breathing. But the prison hospitals have virtually no ventilators. You even got inmates sewing masks out of any cloth they can get their hands on. It's definitely not FDA approved, but at least they're trying. Now the federal BOP, which is the Bureau of Prisons, they came out and they said, oh, we got this. We can handle this. The next day, 3 inmates had already died. Now, if you're a fan of YNW Melly, you probably want to know what's going on right now. Well, as soon as he tested positive for this virus, his lawyers sent out an emergency motion for release for medical care, but let's be honest, they're not letting Melly out. The only person that they would let out was 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine came and he said, help, I have asthma. And the judge was like, well, let this young gentleman out then. Then Melly comes along and he's like, help, I have fucking corona. And they're like, nah, you can stay. And what's crazy is just a couple weeks ago, the judge was about to give bond to Melly's co-defendant, Cortland Henry, right? What had happened was the government, they took a year to gather all the evidence and tell the judge, look, don't let this man go on bond. Do not let him go. And the judge took one look at the evidence, and he said, "I don't know about this one." His exact words were, "The state of Florida has not met the burden of proof based upon all the evidence provided to me in this court hearing today." Cortland Henry was this close to getting out, and then it was going to be Melly's turn to have his bond hearing, and most probably he would get released as well. But a week later, the country gets slammed by the Rona, everything is in shutdown, the courts are shut down, and people who are waiting for a trial, they're stuck in jail. Now, another interesting article that I was reading was one of the fathers of the alleged victim in the Melly case. In regards to Melly, he's saying, fuck him, let him rot in prison, let him die. And the father says quite simply, look, I'm scared for my life. You let him out of prison, he's gonna come kill me. Now, I don't know about all that, but it is clear that the courts are not gonna let Melly out, even though he's showing signs of worsening symptoms. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you in the next video.